Hi guys, Mark here for the Highways and Hedges Monday School class. Thank you so much for being here on a Monday. As I mentioned last week, I am traveling the week of Thanksgiving, which just so happens to be this week. And I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. But in place of my normal classroom teaching, I'm doing quick devotions out of Second Chronicles. And so I hope you learn a lot from these quick devotions. I'll be doing them this week and then again next week. And then we will be back in the classroom the start of December. But for today's devotion out of Second Chronicles, look at Second Chronicles 24, 12 through 14 is actually where we're going to go. And here we're going to talk about Joash. And it's a very interesting story. Really, the point of this devotion is just to understand that no matter how you start, really, it's so easy for all of us to fall into pride or to have sin eat away at our testimony and the unimaginable depths that we could all fall to if, Lord willing, we walked away from God. So I am going to read Second Chronicles 24, 12 through 14, but not yet. I want to give you a little bit of backstory. Look back at Second Chronicles 22, and here we're going to meet Ahaziah. Now, Ahaziah was a king of Judah. You're going to see as you read through chapter 22 that he was murdered, and his mother, Athaliah, took over in verse 10. So 22 verse 10. Athaliah then took over the kingdom, killed all the royal seed, but there was one that escaped, and that was Joash. He was taken by the family and hidden because, of course, he was of the royal seed. And now, if you look down into chapter 23, Second Chronicles 23, we see that Jehoiada, who was the high priest at that time, he actually he got some guys together and they made Joash king. They made Joash the king at age 7. Age 7. Now, Athaliah, of course, was not very happy with this. She cried out, treason, treason. But really, the treason was she stole the kingdom from her own family, killed her own family, and then she eventually dies in chapter 23. So now we get to chapter 24. And so here's 24 verse 1. It reads, Joash was 7 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years in Jerusalem. So that's a pretty long reign for someone who started out at age 7. His mother's name also was Zebiah of Beersheba, and Joash did that which was right in the sight of the Lord all the days of Jehoiada the priest. A very important verse, meaning Jehoiada nurtured him, he had mentored him, he had raised him, and he did right in the eyes of the Lord all the days of Jehoiada the priest. The problem is when you're trying to please man and not God, when that man falls away, so goes all of your convictions, all of your beliefs, and that's why you need to have your own convictions, your own beliefs, and you need to walk with God. You need to have an individual walk with God. So now we see Jehoiada now as we read through chapter 24, Jehoiada now passes away, and we find Joash. Now, Joash at this point has started to fall away from God. His fall away is becoming more and more evident. And now God sends a prophet to him. Now we read chapter 24, verses 12 through 14. And it says, or I'm sorry, Second Chronicles 24, 20 through 22. 20 through 22. It reads, And the Spirit of God came upon Zechariah, the son of Jehoiada, the priest. So the Spirit of God came upon the son of Jehoiada, which is now Zechariah, which stood above the people, and said unto them, Thus saith God, Why transgress ye the commandments of the Lord, that ye cannot prosper? Because ye have forsaken the Lord, he hath also forsaken you. Not a wonderful or easy message to give to the king. Verse 21, And they conspired against him, and stoned him with stones at the commandment of the king, Remember, the king was Joash. This was the son of Jehoiada, the man who had saved him, raised him. And now he stones his son in the court of the house of the Lord. Look at verse 22. Thus Joash the king remembered not the kindness which Jehoiada his father had done to him, but slew his son. And when he died, he said, the Lord look upon it and require it. Don't ever think at some point you can't fall down to these depths. It is a warning shot across the bow. This story here from 2 Chronicles 22 all the way through 2 Chronicles 24, verses 20 through 22. This is a warning shot to say, remember the blessings that have been received by you from the Lord, and be sure to thank him for them and walk with God consistently, because by the grace of God, this could be any of us, that we would turn on our pastors, that we would turn on our brethren, that we would turn on those that have encouraged us. Lord willing, may it never be said of this group that has happened. I pray that devotion was a good help for you here. Once again, next week we're going to do one last devotion out of 2 Chronicles and then right back into the call of action in December. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and thank you so much. Till we talk again.